Yeah,
Rick?
sorry, what was it?
What other counties have approved have you got any approvals from any of the other shelters in other counties in North Dakota?
Yeah, so issued permits, we have Elgin, Fallon, Blair, Lidgerwood, Menango, Oaks, Regent, which is, just outside of Hettinger,
Yep.
and Scranton.
They were all told.
Hmm?
They were all told.
And then I'm not seeing Burley uploaded yet, but, I went to the commissioner meeting and they all voted to approve it. So we just haven't received it yet.
You went to the Burley County Commission meeting?
Well, it's a township meeting, so it's in Burley County, but I can't remember. It was like a township meeting of like Apple Creek and a couple other ones that I wasn't familiar with the township meeting, but.
So you were down on old number 10, correct?
Yes, yep. Or that's where the meeting was. The meeting was over in, Minokan.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Missouri Township.
In what township?
Missouri.
Missouri, Teflon, and, there are 3 townships as one. But this location is in Missouri Township.
Well, I don't think it's so much, it's not an approval deal as a timing deal. Brady, we were just kinda in the process of, making some changes to our conditional use permits, and it just kinda hit at a bad time, I think, you know, so.
Well, this has been submitted since August. I mean, if there's any changes, do you understand what they are? I mean,
Well, somebody else can speak to that. We're, in fact, today we are maybe.
well, I mean, there's 2 things, you know, we've been told by multiple entities that in North Dakota that we technically don't even need a permit. So, you know, what I would like to do is, one, get the approval to start work. Cause we can still work even in this weather, but doing some of the preliminary work. Cause we kind of missed the build window until the weather gets better. But, our goal is to get approval. If there's any changes that you're contemplating that impact I mean, I can't imagine what you would change other than maybe a permit fee. We're happy to go back and look at that after the approval to get started. I mean, we don't want to create any enemies, just like I told you, Dan, I told you, Joe. I mean, I don't really think that there's a precedent that says that we can't just go set these. But if you tell me that, you know, you're gonna have it, changes implemented by a certain date, we can still work with that, that's great. But, our goal is to get started.
Well, they did pass a resolution to amend the conditional use permit process for industrial projects, but it was a little bit confusing whether that went away or took away the previous conditional use permit process that was passed in the original zoning ordinance book.
Gotcha.
And one of the changes was a 3% permit fee for the total cost of the project that's being permitted. So for these shelters, I guess I don't know how you figured that out. That was one of the changes for sure.
So you would consider this industrial? This is utility? We're a registered utility.
I guess the commission would have to make that consideration and
There's nothing being manufactured here. it's a utility.
Right, well, and that was the confusion that we had with our process, is we had an industrial conditional use permit, and then we had a conditional use permit, and what we're trying to do is we're doing away with the industrial conditional use permit because it didn't really fit anything we were trying to profile in Emmons County, so
Yeah.
basically, the process we're trying to do is create one conditional use permit, so where like this is not considered an agricultural activity, it's probably a utility that's permitted conditionally inside of agricultural land, so then you would need a conditional use permit, and then
Gotcha.
that was the issue that we were having, was even other projects were saying, well, it's not industrial, it's more of like a commercial utility. Well, our description of industrial is basically anything that's not ag essentially happening on ag land, it's kind of industrial, but that's more of a succinct opinion more than a definition, a legal one anyway. So that's what we're trying to solve, because the problem with it was the conditional use permit was basically a $250 fee that's been in existence for 4 years. And we were trying to capture more value for some of these bigger projects that required more resources and more just time and everything. So that's why we had 2 permits, which was a bad process. Now we're just consolidating it into 1 permit with 1 fee, and that's it. So that was the major change, which would impact you more than anything. As far as like actual zoning and regulations and setbacks, I don't see anything from the information you've given us that would probably stop the project. Like, there's nothing where it's like, well, it's a sound barrier, light barrier, traffic issue, anything that would force us to be like, well, we're making changes to that. This pretty much seems like it fits like a lot of things. It's a utility structure that's gonna make the same or less noise than any buildings around it, have the same amount of light as any buildings are, so I don't think there's gonna be an issue other than that. We need to iron out our conditional use permit process, which kinda to wrinkle back into the other agenda item, which is the zoning board update. If we would approve a draft today, that'd be a first reading essentially. We could do a second reading and public hearing for this process pretty soon, and then a public hearing for the conditional use permit shortly after.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give like a target window. We're probably, we're 30-ish days away from probably completing this process for both of them, cause it can kinda go, I don't see anything that we're moving forward with conditional use affecting whether or not we would probably approve or deny this permit. It's more of a, it's a process we're changing obviously, but we're not changing setbacks, we're not changing
No.
structure heights or noise or lights.
Nothing else.
It's more of a process that we're just going through, so.
You're adjusting the fees,
That's all.
yeah, so I'm happy to share with you, we can call it what it is. If you think you've got an outdated process that you're not happy with the amount of revenue you're getting out of the permitting process, we can deal with that. Again, our goal is to, like you said, if you're looking at the scope of the work and there's nothing, if we can get just a nod from you saying, yeah, go ahead and start your project and we'll do your conditional use permit once you get it ratified, I'm happy to do that too. 3% on this one, it'd be more than we paid any other county. The folks on the phone can give you the numbers, even give you the permits that we've gotten in other counties, so you can look at those comparatively. 3% is a little high. On this one, it'd be about $10,000. That's probably, Mitch, I don't know if you or anybody on the phone has those numbers in front of you. That's probably 3 times more than we pay on other counties, but we have paid $2,500 to $3,000 in other counties, in other states, for conditional use permit.
Would you be willing to work at that 3%? Now we're throwing it back at you.
Well, again, I think that if I'm building an industrial site up there where I'm manufacturing something, I'd say 3% is probably not out of the question, but 3% in many counties in the states we deal with, utilities are exempt. Because I'm bringing a benefit to the public. It's not, I'm not manufacturing for profit on this facility. So I would argue that, 3% for a manufacturing facility, sure. 1.5% would make me much more happy. But yeah, I just feel like 3% is a little high. I got about $350,000 in infrastructure that'll go onto the site, so I was just working it off of that, about 10,500.
Well, that battery plant was a utility, they paid it.
What's that?
I say if we had a battery storage be okay, that was, I guess, considered utility.
Well, I mean, it's all utility, so, the fiber, everything. The generator's probably the only thing that's, I mean, technically it's just backup. But, you know, again, and we're happy to wait and let you work through your process. All we're looking for is, you know, and whatever you ratify, we'll be happy to work with you on it. But just my feedback, you asked me my feedback, Ed, on the 3%, I think it's a little
That's
high.
right, yeah, that's,
Well, if you're not getting any pushback, too cheap, so I think it's probably right. I mean, I would say I don't see how I could give any approval to start a project until we go through the process and have a public hearing and approve a conditional use permit, but that's just my opinion on it. I mean,
Yeah,
I think this
just,
is,
like I
we're in
said,
the process of getting this ratified, I don't see why we couldn't have this ratified in the next 30, 40 days, barring maybe one special hearing or something, I think we could get it done, I mean, so, I don't see any reason to skip the process.
I think we gotta go along with the process, I think we have to.
We're gonna start
We're-
construction,
I think we have to.
we're probably gonna start grubbing the site and just clearing it, just so we got our space
Before it
ready
freezes over.
when they can.
Yep.
So we'll get started on that and wait, hopefully in 30, 45 days you can get that ratified and we'll
yeah.
come back to that.
What do you think?
No law says you can't move a little dirt.
No.
I'm fine with that, as long as we start.
So you're pouring the cement slab, or you're bringing slabs in and setting?
Well, we actually been contemplating bringing some prefab slabs in because of the cold. You can't get concrete at the time, it's hard to keep it straight, but we'll see. I mean, we may use this as an example since we got a little bit of time here to deal with.
It's not heavy, is it?
No, they're not too
You gotta
heavy.
worry about cracking the slab.
No, they're not too heavy. We have a manufacturer that's been trying to get us to demo one of their prefab slabs. It's basically, it looks like one of those Tetris devices. It's pieces of concrete that are formed and you fill it in with gravel between them.
Okay.
And it's got, you know, pretty neat, but again, you gotta ship it out there and all that stuff. So the cost is about the same
Yep,
of just forming a slab and pouring it.
yep. Are you part of this, if I can ask? No, okay. No. Okay. See anything else, guys?
No, I, like I said earlier, it's just a timing deal.
It's a timing deal.
More
I mean,
than,
even though it was in August, but when this Linda spoke to us initially by telephone,
Yeah,
she really, the poor gal couldn't really tell us
Yeah.
where it was coming from and where it was ending.
well, I mean, she's never had that question asked before because it's usually a one-side deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that's not a common question. We're here, that's why I came to answer. So as long as we can get back on the agenda, do we need to just stay in tune with what you're doing on the changes for the CUP, or can we get notified or something?
Should be able to
yeah,
notify.
I would,
So,
after,
right, Joe?
What's that?
She should be able to be notified after we got everything in place, yeah?
Yeah, so, I would assume so, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get doing what we can in this weather, but I appreciate your time. If you got anything else for me?
no, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
It's gonna warm up today, so get her done.
Yeah.
They're talking
These
35
folks
miles.
these folks on the phone hear me jumping up and down wanting to get it done, so
Wait
Now-
Thursday, Friday, that's it.
I think that's why they wanted me to come up here to see how much snow's on the ground.
Yeah.
10 to 15 in places.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, kinda. One thing about it, though, the ground probably isn't frozen.
It isn't frozen, no.
Yeah.
It's insulated from that snow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the big,
Yeah.
if there is any.
And I noticed where you had it staked, so that's a pretty level spot.
Yeah, yeah. We
Pretty
trust
simple.
it pretty well.
Yep, yep. Anything else, guys?
Oh,
I wanna thank you for coming in, Brady.
Yeah, no worries, it's good to be here. I
Okay,
grew up in a little small town about the size of Linton, and it's good to be back to small towns again.
okay, sounds good. Thanks a million.
Take care, guys.
Have a good holiday.
You too. You got my number, Dan, if you need me.
Do it.
yeah.
I've got your number. Yeah, all good. We'll be in touch.
Thanks a lot, John.
Thanks, Brady. Thank you for being online.
Take care.
You bet. What do you do?
Alright, bye, thank you.
I missed you when you were doing it, so I'm just waiting for my turn, more or less. I wasn't sure where to find, when the commission was meeting, because I just am not well versed in that. But you guys already covered the Hazelton homes, from what I understand?
Yes,
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
yeah, we did.
I think, so the agreement that we did is we're gonna offer it to the cities to see if any of them wanna take it and then disperse it in their own manner. And if they don't take it, then the assumption is we're gonna come up with a process to probably re-auction them or something like that, I guess, cause nobody's settled on the auctions.
No, I don't even know where to find it, I guess, a little ill-versed, ill-informed. So my corporation's August Group, and we kind of have already bought a few of the surrounding apartment buildings, the 507, 509, and the 167 Cottage. And so I was just kind of inquiring just in the basics of information in regard to how much they were, what you were needing to pay on those in order to pick them up. I haven't seen them, I don't even know the addresses. I just kind of heard about this yesterday, and I realized that you were now meeting when I was downstairs checking for information. So I kind of came up here just to kind of ask a few of those questions, if you have time. I understand that we probably should be adjourning for lunch pretty soon here, but, yeah.
Well, I'd say Marcy's got all the information.
Did you stop at the auditor's office before you came up?
I sure did.
And they did give you a copy of the homes?
I was just told to come up here. I went to the treasurer, and then I went to the auditor, and they told me, oh, you're meeting right now, they met at 9:35. Come on up here and listen. I was like, okay.
Can we get this?
Yeah, that'd just be the list, or if Marlis has another.
Are you okay with
list or something.
giving
Yeah,
this
you
to
can give
them?
them that.
Here.
Yeah, I got one here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, they won't have the addresses on there, but,
Lot numbers, all that good stuff.
parcel number on them.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, good luck. Next thing, you wanna recess for lunch, or you wanna keep going through this stuff? You wanna get it done?
I think we only got one thing left, right?
And then we got miscellaneous, I think we should get it done, right?
Yeah, fine.
Next thing is item J, zoning board update, resolution review application for conditional use permit. I wanna compliment you two guys, what you put together, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, I mean, just basically, undertone, we agreed that Joe and I were gonna just kinda at least get some main bullet points that we kind of roughly agreed we wanted to see in the
Yeah.
conditional use permit, and then so Joe, I sent some suggestions to Joe just that I found, and he kinda, put some zone, just better wording, because I'm a plumber and I'm not a
Well,
English teacher, so
you're pretty good
Joe
at
made
words.
it look a lot smarter than the scratch pad I probably texted him, but anyway, we just kind of, just to give you some cliff notes, I basically took some of the ideas from mostly Dunn and Sheridan County, which were two counties we were kind of modeling some stuff against. Joe, you got the copy of the resolution here, and then the copy of the conditional use permit, just for your reading enjoyment and for the public out there that's curious. The main changes that we were looking to make with this conditional use permit is we're dissolving the industrial conditional use permit. We're just creating one conditional use permit, doesn't matter what you think it is, industrial, commercial, utility, that's gonna be our requirement. And then, I would stress that this really isn't like a finished product, it's not like zoning is fixed, but at least the conditional use permit has a little more definition for
Yep.
future projects and for future zoning individuals, state's attorney, if somebody's got something to build out.
Yeah.
A little bit more than we've had. Another thing that we adopted was, or we're going to adopt, attempting to, whatever you wanna call it, proposing, that's probably the right word, is,
Is the what?
we're proposing, I shouldn't say adopt because we haven't actually voted on it,
Yeah,
but
right.
the proposal would be for basically the issuance of like an application fee. So when you come here, the 3%, again, somebody stressed that they feel like it's high. Asking them to put money down on 3% fee is probably a lot, you know, so the application fee is the start. So we just did a flat rate, it's $750. The intent of that is to cover things like publishing for public hearings, any filing, recording time and effort on our part, you know. Part of the process that we're including here is that, you know, Marcy's gonna have a part of it as the auditor in the zoning commission, so it just kind of at least just defrays some of them costs to start with, to just look at it, what it's gonna take to get it to the public hearing and approval or denial point.
And that's non-refundable.
That's non-refundable. That's
See,
just,
excuse me, I didn't think that's cheap. When you think of all the processes going through it.
the reason for $750 is it was a good round number. 600 seemed to be the rate that Sheridan County had. And Dunn, I don't remember if they had an application fee, cause
I don't think they did.
I don't remember seeing one. And so $750 just had a good round ring to it, I don't know, 600 felt like a weird number, like.
Yeah, no.
I mean, again, as a part of it, like I said, just as these things are all debatable. If you guys think it should be more or less, that is absolutely a conversation we can have, it just felt like a good jump off point.
Yep.
The other thing that we tried to include more than anything was a little bit of a process, which is what we've been lacking. Who does it go to? How long does it take till you have something? And a lot of that was, you know, Sheridan has a little bit rougher, Dunn County had a little bit more specific, you know, as far as, the idea would be that the application is due to the county auditor.
Yep.
And then basically there's a step process to where, I think it's within 10 days, like the auditor has amount of time to just, is the application have a permit fee included? Is the address is right, the phone numbers, contact information, you know, legal information, that's things she'll probably bounce off somebody like Josh or somebody just like, hey, is this? And then the auditor is basically gonna decide if this application is ready for review. If not, it's gonna get rejected at that point for whatever reasons, or, you know, and you have to kinda give a reason for the denial, you can't just deny it, but like, hey, you didn't include your permit fee, that's due upon application, whatever, so. And then from there, there's a public hearing deadline, so the Planning and Zoning Commission shall hold a public hearing within 60 days of the date of the county auditor's approval of the application. So once Marlis, for example, takes this application, she's got 10 days to review it, check it out, make sure it's kosher. If it is, then it goes to Planning and Zoning. They have a 60-day review period. They can do it in less time, but they have at least 60 days. So if a company comes in here and wants to be like, when am I gonna get a public hearing? Well, when Marcy approves it on August 1st, 60 days or less from there, you should be getting a public hearing. That's our process. So that gives you a vetting time. You don't feel like somebody's gonna come in and go, well, we need approval in 2 weeks. Tough, we got 60 days. Now, we may give you a hearing in 2 weeks if it's something simple. This project is kind of a good example of, with further review and a little more information, maybe it could have been fast-tracked further in it, but when you don't understand what it is, nobody's really seen it, there's no precedent, you have 60 days to call other people, look into other things, other states, you know, Christina came in, that's a perfect example of having 60 days to start going to your other offices, looking into things. You know, Josh is kind of our resident expert in some of these different things, like, it gives him time, he doesn't be like, oh, okay, I have to apparently work on it all weekend, because commissioners decided to do a public hearing on a Monday after a Tuesday, like, this is the process.
Is this process for conditional use only or all permits?
Well, for now, it's the conditional use permit. I think as we go forward, you know, it's the planning and zoning, it's not just gonna be conditional use permits, it's gonna be building permits, everything. They feel that that's a necessary process, which I think review time is huge, you gotta have review time. I think we've been very, like, lenient, we've been trying not to impede progress, but at the same time, I think we've done it maybe at a bit of a disservice to the county, just with making sure that all these things are followed, and that's why, like, even with Intermountain coming in here and being like, well, nobody's giving us a hard time like this, well, I take that as a little bit of a compliment, just because I don't feel like in the past we probably did enough homework. Are we being maybe too strict? But, I mean, these
No.
projects deserve more vetting, and especially projects like these that, it's not like there's, I mean, yeah, other counties close to us have given permission, but nobody's built one yet, nobody, I mean,
No.
we, you know, you should have some time to go research this stuff, so.
No, that's good.
So those are kind of just some of the core changes. The other big one that I think came up, which came up actually during the PSC hearing, I flagged Joe down during the PSC hearing, is like for the batteries example, they're classifying it as like a energy generation facility. The key note with that is they're not requiring bond, like a surety bond, versus like a wind tower or a different type of project that they would cite. So that's kind of news to everybody as well, and so
This is good what you put in there.
I think the county should require a bond.
Damn right.
And if the state already requires one over and above, we could waive it.
Yeah,
But if they don't, like this project, I would assume they don't need PSC approval. They're
Right.
maybe even stating they don't even need county approval to a point. So, I can guarantee you, they're not gonna have any kind of requirement for a bond unless the landowner in some kind of lease agreement requires them to have a bond.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be wise on the county side, because especially if these projects are portable, what stops these companies from pulling the necessary infrastructure and leaving behind concrete or gravel or poles? And then somebody wants to foreclose on that piece because it's a separate parcel and it doesn't affect the rest of their quarter, now the county's left with 5 acres of junk. You don't know. I don't think people will do that, I'm not gonna assume they all will, I'm not gonna assume nobody's ever gonna
No.
try it either, so.
But it will happen.
yeah.
I don't know what the
It'll
right
happen.
value is.
No doubt.
Joe and I just kind of roughly, a jump off point was $500,000.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanna do a range, if you wanna do it as a percentage, I think we can, I think that's maybe amendable down the road too. I didn't really reach out to anybody that's a bonding expert to see what like a standard is, like 10% of a project, 50%, 100%, I don't know. Do you really
I
have any
tried to
opinion?
look and I couldn't really find much information online, it seemed like 500,000 was a little bit on the high side, which surprised me,
You haven't done that.
cause I thought maybe it was a little on the low side.
You're not aware of that.
I mean, I can tell you that I'm required to have a $5,000
And you get
bond
notice then.
with a lot of these cities. A lot of the projects I do are less than $5,000, so I'm technically bonded 100% or more on a lot of those jobs.
They,
So I don't know,
Well, this project is what, 6.6 million?
yeah.
So I mean, a $500,000.
well, I don't, the confusion with this one, I think, is I don't know if you can include the fiber plowing as a part of the project, they're not permitting that.
Okay.
They're
only
permitting the
that.
couple acres in the structure itself.
So
That's where
that
he's
part
saying
will
it's
have-
basically a $300,000 permit bill.
Yeah,
Cause the other stuff basically went through the state and they did pay a fee to the state, it's
But very small.
pretty reasonable. I really hope I get to use,
I
some
was
state right away when I'm shallow burying water lines now, because if it's that cheap, it's, yeah, but anyway. I mean, I can see where the public good conversation can come in, but again, I don't wanna talk about a specific project, but I'm curious about some things that I really would like a public hearing on that, cause I still have more questions, but, I don't know if 500,000 is just a good spot, it's better than we have.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, I think it's a good start.
It's a good start.
On a $10 million project, $500,000 bond's not enough, but on a $10 million project, are you gonna require them to have a $10 million bond? It probably requires a little more research, but at least to get the process
It's a
going.
starting point.
I feel like it's maybe just a good place to be, so. And then the only other thing was adopting an actual fee schedule, which is something we kind of messed around with NextEra essentially. I like the fee schedule because it does create a scenario, like, my main concern was when you do have a permit fee that everybody's considering to be high, collecting it all at once could create some issues, just as far as if they don't get a permit to a certain point, now we're holding on to maybe, let's just say $1 million more, you know, what's refundable, what's not. So I think the schedule, and then the schedule basically makes these non-refundable. Once you've hit, so for example, like Joe stated, if there's PSC approval required, 25% is due to the county once we approve
Like we did
our
with the
permit.
wind.
And that's due within 30 days of our approval. If they have to have PSC approval and they get it, then 50% is due there. Once they pay those fees, they're non-refundable. Cause it's not our fault if they don't get it built after the PSC approves it, or even if we approve it and the PSC doesn't give it to them, hey, we did our part, that 25%'s non-refundable, that's ours. And then obviously if the PSC approval is not required, then we would require 75% due, because really the only thing left to do is construction. So we should get a bulk of that, because that's gonna come into our problem, monitoring it and making sure it gets done the way we want it done. And then, the last step is that the total balance would be due no later than 30 days prior to the start of construction. So we want that fee paid completely before they actually start doing work. And I think that's at least a good, solid, like, definition, you understand when this thing's gonna be. And so that's kind of the resolution that hopefully corrects some of these deals. The other thing too is that, just for some understanding, so the Planning and Zoning Commission would conduct a public hearing, not the county commission. But the Planning and Zoning Commission may approve something, it still has to go to final review of the county commission at the next regular meeting, so you don't have an appointed board making the solidified decision, the elected officials are still doing it.
Yeah,
That's how Burley does it, and a lot of other ones, that seems to be the right way of doing
they
it.
come to us with a recommendation.
Essentially, they'll come to you and say, we recommend approval or denial, and they can be overridden by the county commission, so.
I guess something I would like to see added would be a survey requirement after the permit has been issued. Not going out before they even apply for a permit, but after. You remember what happened to Jared Bosley? Down in South Dakota, they come in, that was drilled against his will. So I think it really should be done after we grant a permit.
And not before.
Not before.
The only concern I would have with that is that really, I mean, in my opinion, I'd imagine you probably agree with me, is that you shouldn't be surveying unless you have landowners' permission.
Exactly.
And so I don't know if a county can technically even grant approval, like, let's just say we grant a permit before someone has actually signed a lease. Does the county just give them authority to survey now because we granted a permit, like?
It has to be between two consenting parties.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just wondering if adding that on the county side maybe creates more problems than it solves. I get where you're coming from.
I agree.
You wanna try and restrict access, until they have permits and all that stuff too, but
Right.
in the end, I think the landowner and the fight with the landowner should be I don't know if the county should be involved in that, would be my opinion.
Well, with this battery storage unit, we have, that was all pretty much done before we even knew about it with the lease agreement and everything. Which I think that was backwards, we should have known about that before they even went out to talk to Spitz or whoever. I just think it's proper to do all this work through us first, then they can go to the landowner.
But they wanna secure to make sure that they can even,
Get the property.
Well, they should.
it kinda putting the cart before the horse, don't you think? I mean, if you don't have land to put it there, cause if they weren't gonna get that piece of land next to the substation, it doesn't pay for them to do it, it wouldn't even happen. So they went out to even make sure that this is even a possibility with a private landowner.
That would just be an option.
Right, and then they came to us, we've secured a lease with the option to buy, and this is our proposed.
But this gives them, I guess, I wouldn't say permission, but it gives them the okay that we are good with this project, go ahead and ask them.
Yeah, it's just
We
another
can go
step,
either way.
it's just another step for us though, if they already got the land procured with a private entity, I don't think that's really any of our business if somebody comes in and wants to buy a piece of land for a project and then we deny it, that's their problem. You know what I mean? I mean,
Well, I can see it both ways.
yeah, I mean,
I see it both ways.
I'm just saying, I think we just if a company wants to come in and deal with a private landowner to acquire land for a project that they now have to get permission from the county, from the state, I just see it working the way it works now. Whether we deny it or not, we might make a mad owner, but then we tell them, yeah, go right ahead, and then they go back out to the landowner and come back, forget it, they won't sell to us anyway, so we can't make it work.
Yeah, I can see it both
I see
ways too, and
both
I don't disagree with Craig, I get
I
where
don't
you're coming
either,
from, I
necessarily.
like it, but the only other concern I would have too would be that let's just say we give a go-ahead on a project where they haven't secured the lease, and now they're like, well, the county's already approved it, so if you don't
Yeah.
sign it, like,
Yeah, they
I could
pressure-
just see that almost just
pressure
like,
landowners.
I could
They
almost.
pressure you, been
you-
there, that
you-
now oil leasing the same way, they pressure you.
yeah.
Mayor signed, you know, hey, you're holding this project
Yeah,
up.
I think the conversation there would kind of be more the, road to hell is paved with good intentions scenario, like, I
What you're
don't
saying.
disagree with you. I think it might almost backfire in a sense, and I don't know if that could be a little, cause I think if we're, like, in reference to Summit, we almost, like, we did it on the backside in the sense of, like, once we found out they were trying to eminent domain, do other things, it's like, our job as a jurisdiction was like, hey, that's not the way we wanna do business here, that's so, like, where if you would almost granted approval before that, then some of those things happen, now it's like you almost don't even have the ability to defend your landowners, cause you've already kinda given approval for something you maybe didn't quite understand.
I think there has to be a way to play it both ways to make it.
I don't disagree, cause one thing I do hate is I hate how everybody comes in armed to the teeth with information. And then we're supposed to make kind of a snap decision, which is the
Right.
reason why including this review period I thought was very important.
Yes.
Yeah,
And why, I mean,
Yeah.
60 days
Yeah.
is even up for debate, some places have 90, I felt like 60 was maybe.
Right.
If you make too long, it's almost like it doesn't become a priority, I don't wanna go that far. I felt like 30 days wasn't enough, 60 days seemed like a nice window where you basically, or you're gonna make them, they can't surprise you too much, you still get to make them sit on it for up to 60 days while you do your research, which I think is at least adequate, I don't know if it's right, but it's definitely better than what we've had, which was, oh my god, they came in November, now they want a hearing in December, and if we don't, then we might start getting emails, or people are gonna start saying things, and so, I feel like having an ironed out process is the right way, I would kinda consider it the same as the graded step. We're approving something that I know is not finished.
Right.
But it's at least better than what we've had, and hopefully from here we can move on, we're steering a direction
yeah.
for our incoming planning and zoning commissions. You got a document that's pretty solid, you can still make some changes to it, and those kind of suggestions maybe are necessary, you know.
We could maybe figure this out as we go and change it a
Well,
little bit here.
I
and put it
think-
in.
I think you can build on it.
I think to just build on what, I mean, we've been through a couple battles here lately.
Yep.
And I think it's been nothing but good. I think people look at it like we're maybe causing a lot of friction, we're creating difficulty. But what we're doing is, we're putting our foot down, we're drawing a line in the sand that we're demanding to be treated better. Both our landowners and us as a county. And Emmons County just wasn't, I don't believe we're a sophisticated county, but we're a heck of a lot more sophisticated than we were. And we're working on that, and we deserve that, and our landowner, our constituents deserve that. They need to know that when a company's coming in here, they're gonna treat us with respect, they know we're serious.
And the landowners.
Yes,
Absolutely.
well, it needs to be as one, the landowners need to know that this board isn't just some group of guys that's gonna give anybody whatever, or
Right.
girls, gals, whatever, but, like, they need to have confidence that when that stuff comes in here, that we're gonna do everything we can for the benefit of Emmons County.
Yeah,
And have a process and thoroughly vet it, cause that's what we expect, right, from like the PSC, state legislature, like when it's in their hands, we're like, hey, these guys are gonna take care of it, we're pretty disappointed when we find out that sometimes they don't. And we owe that to our constituents as well, so this isn't the end, this is the beginning. And hopefully, we're creating a process that can keep getting amended till we become a Sheridan or a Dunn, or somebody who looks like they actually have their crap together, cause we have it. And that's not just this board, it's everybody before us, and we're trying to make it so the next person that sits in these chairs doesn't have to totally reinvent the wheel. So.
Well, I like this, these companies, you know, he said it right there, 35 years, they're gonna make money off this project.
Yes.
For $250 for Emmons County?
Yeah.
I mean, I get we're not taxing on the fiber optic in the right of ways, but that's gonna make a nightmare for every other contractor that has to get into the right of ways. And I think they should have to pay. We might be expensive, but everybody else is gonna figure this out too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and I think another good example that Christina brought in this morning, and just from what we heard this afternoon from this project, it's very mobile. It's probably gonna be in a gray area for how it's assessed, if it's even assessed at all.
Yeah.
So if you're not generating property taxes, and you're not generating jobs, why do we want these projects?
We care.
So when they talk about things like a permit fee, what we're trying to do is we're trying to reduce our risk and gain some value. The whole point of a project, when you hear about it, right, coming to your town, what's the assumption, right? It's good for the schools,
Economic
good for the
development.
build, like, so if it doesn't generate those things, why do we want them? And we can't just say that, I don't care about internet speed in Chicago, I don't. Put it in the paper, Magrum doesn't care about urban broadband access, like, and to be honest with you, depending on how this AI thing and internet access goes, I kinda like the fact there might be some sparse areas, cause that's where I get to live when Skynet takes over, so. I don't just think that every time someone wants to put a stick of wood or a piece of concrete in Emmons County, we should just give them the road for nothing, cause it's good for us.
Yeah.
We've proven that not every one of them is good for us, some of them don't mean a thing.
Well, going back to that pipeline, they were going to survey after they had that pipeline in, and then file that, which is completely backwards. That's another good reason, I think they should have the requirement to survey, file it right, this is the manual for surveying, it's thick. This was in 2019, it was updated. To have all that, have all their ducks in a row, filed with the courthouse before they can start their project too. That needs to be done. Because this business of the pipeline, they were gonna build it, then survey it, then file it, well, that's backwards.
It's kinda even like their easements that they filed, they're partial easements, and the state grants them okay to do that. You can't even go upstairs here and check an easement, because the state grants them a partial easement to
I mean,
file.
you did a good job on this, you can't get any better than this.
So what can, sorry, go ahead.
I think to add this surveying in would just be the cream of the crop, top it off.
Well, and
This is a first reading, right? So these
Yes.
things can be changed before the next
Right.
meeting.
But we can approve this here.
Well, we don't have to
And we-
approve it, this is just a first reading. You can bring any changes to the second reading, and then we make the approval.
Yeah, so usually we do approve a first reading just so that we have the record.
Something of record,
That we had a reading, but we can change it, we can actually change it during the next meeting, so, for sure.
I mean, the public hearing and the second reading is where the rubber meets the road, that's
Right,
where, like,
right.
you get input from people on the spot, you can make amendments at the meeting, try and get something iced down, you know, that time, and I guess I just wanna stress it a little bit, and the reason why I do that is because even myself, I'm like, maybe this isn't enough,
Yeah.
this is just the permit requirements and a resolution to change some of the permit stuff. That doesn't mean that even some of the things that Commissioner Miller's suggesting shouldn't be a part of the zoning manual, maybe more than maybe the permitting process, like maybe that's just, I mean, there's other avenues, like, if you don't get this perfect,
Right.
don't think that, like, you missed the opportunity to correct something, that, the planning and zoning commission, the input from the commissioners, the input from the employees, the constituents, the processes that are gonna happen going forward, the review of that little blue book,
Yep.
that's the stuff where maybe that's maybe more adequate to be in there, and then in better description, cause it's hard to put all that in a permit application, you'll have it this thick.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have a manual this thick and then a permit application that always refers to the manual. Your permit is conditional and only accepted if it falls in line with state law and essentially county law, which would be the planning and zoning book. So
Yeah.
those are the kinds of things that I totally agree with you and support. Maybe this isn't maybe necessarily the right place to have that, and that's just something to consider too, so,
Good point.
and the other thing about it too is like, the application, you know, can, you know, be amended, I'd say the next 30 days here, or whatever, you know, until we have the next public hearing, or at least whatever, I mean, it's gonna be hard to do it in December, like talking to Marlis about it, with the holidays and everything, it's gonna be a disaster. My suggestion would be that we approve the first reading,
Like Joe said.
plan for a public hearing probably in like the January regular meeting, and have it towards the evening like we do. And then, you know, go from there, and then, you know, this Intermountain one, however you wanna handle a public hearing or anything for that, I guess.
I got it.
What's that?
I see in January, I may be over in Maui for a couple of weeks, so, I'll get the dates. It's already booked. And I think it's on the 18th, if I recall, or the 14th.
Well, the meeting, the regular meeting would be the seventh.
I hope you can change them tickets.
The meeting would be the seventh,
Down payment is already there, you know?
and so, I think as far as
Yeah, we could
ratification of
have it
that.
on that evening, the seventh.
On the 7th?
Six. Be in
We've
the
got to do
That's
this.
2025.
Oh, yeah, that's the wrong year.
Yeah. I
Touche,
think
Josh.
Six is.
Oh, right,
It is, that's 25.
Good catch, Scott.
So,
yeah, that would,
A special meeting?
what's your,
Yeah, on the 17th.
Well, I have to post it.
Wasn't it Scott? Wasn't that?
Scott, yeah, was it Scott?
Yeah.
Good catch, Scott.
Good job, Scotty. Good work. Do we wanna, I know we still have to figure all this whole deal out.
yeah,
The paper first goes out.
Would it be a good idea to invite these people to that public hearing so they can get a?
a feel of it?
Well, I mean, the public is invited to.
No, I know, but our board members
Yeah.
our new.
request their presence maybe? I'm just curious.
Well, I think anybody that decides they wanna be on the planning and zoning board should probably wanna attend some of this stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, I think there's not enough information for them to actually,
Are we gonna finalize this today?
We should, I think we should get the rest of the
Yeah.
names put on here.
Not
We're
to
good.
change the subject.
No, it's good.
I just was,
But then they're supposed to meet in 30
Huh?
days.
You're supposed to meet in 30 days once this is approved.
right, but they'll still, to truly be organized and be able to handle this, they're probably, I
Yeah,
mean, they're a couple months
Couple,
out.
yeah.
so-
yeah, you bet,
I mean, as you can see, like, they literally wanna start turning ground today, so,
yeah.
Yours is District 3, right?
two.
Two?
I'm three.
Who do you have in 2?
I would, name Dean Dice.
Dean does.
And you've got for District 2,
Three?
you're in 3?
Yep,
What do you got?
Dan Weber. And then I've also got, number 2, Linton City, Council, Eric Schmidt.
Oh.
I don't know that kid. How old
He'd
are
be
you?
Cletus and Rhonda Schmidt's son.
So,
He's younger, he works down at Egg.
Egg Taylor.
No, he works for, yeah, it is Egg
She the
Taylor.
one that drives the fuel truck.
Oh, I don't know what he does down there exactly.
That's
District 2 was
That's it.
who?
Yeah. That's
Dean
Derek.
Dice.
Dean Dix, that's yours.
So it's Wayne Ely, Dean Dice, Jim Gardner, Craig Miller,
He missed Eric Schmidt as a city council.
Dave Mock and Clark Roth.
Well, I think we gotta pick one
Huh?
of those two.
Pick one of those two.
Yeah.
So what do we do amongst us guys?
Dave wants.
I'd say Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your feelings, guys? Dave?
Yeah,
Dave?
yeah, he's been,
Eric Schmidt, Dan Weber, Aaron Lyer, and Lauren Vanderhorst, correct?
yeah.
So do we have, what do we do here? We don't have to do any,
Well, you would vote to appoint
Just
either
vote to
individually,
appoint.
or somebody could make the motion to,
accept it.
I mean, you gotta appoint them just like any other board position.
So,
That's 9 names, that's what we were agreeing on, right?
so
Nine?
with Dan Weber,
8, 9.
he was the third person I talked to. There's very reluctant. I'm pushing for a 2-year term for him because he's on several boards. And he,
Weber?
yeah, I told him I'd push for a 2-year term. Hopefully that way he doesn't have to resign because of too many conflicts, but, cause I know we have to kinda figure out 2 and 4-year deals too. I mean, it's under,
That's what we
District 3 is under a 2-year, but that doesn't mean that has to be where it's at. We just, I believe Joe did that just as a.
Aaron Lyer committed to 4, he'd do a 4-year term.
Okay,
He told me that himself.
okay.
With Vanderhorst, I'm sure he would.
I didn't even ask him that.
Well, then we're just gonna set him up to a 4-year term.
They're young guys.
Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but if you basically designate the number of board members and the number of terms within that board, couldn't you allow that board to probably select their own term lengths? as long as it fits, like you'd have two and, or
Four.
3 of them at 4-year, 3 of them at 3-year, 3 of them at 2-year, something like that.
Yeah, I suppose that would make sense too, I mean,
Rather
they're
than
gonna have
trying-
to choose their own chairman and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, like during reorganization, they could maybe select.
No, we're-
their-
we're-
Didn't we kinda do that with the?
No, our term is,
The regional
Yeah.
service zone, we did that based on election dates, right?
And with the county committee, we did that
Can you
also, we
pronounce
let
it?
them decide their
Right.
terms.
Cause I know like on the south,
coterminous.
the South Country Regional Service Zone,
I've never heard of that name.
we all had different election dates. So we took the terms that
I
were
think it goes
closest
with
to
your term on the
re-election.
county commission and your term on the city council.
Is that what it means in
Coterminous? It's-
coterminous?
It's co to your term that you're representing from?
That's
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
Well, then that kinda iced
Nailed
it
it.
then, right? I mean.
Well, no, we still have the districts you still have, but
Districts would still be.
the city council, the 2 city council members and the 2 commissioners,
Right.
it goes with your coterminous term.
Well, couldn't you, I mean, cause every one of us is bringing someone from a district, wouldn't those district resides, couldn't we just make them terms with their elected official? I mean, just as far as clarity goes or anything like that, but then I don't know if that coincides with the numbers that you want staggering.
I would say no, because you're getting off in 6 months, and, or I guess, I mean, it's 8, 9,
Yeah.
10 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're kind of reinventing this as of right now, if we adopt this, maybe we just stay with 2 and 4-year terms?
I was spitballing,
I'm just thinking that way,
looking for
because then
consistency more than anything.
whoever takes your position is once again looking for another guy to go for 4 years, or, I kinda sold it on the fact that it's a 2 and 4-year term.
Yeah,
That's what I
that's
would
what the statute says for
Well,
those.
this county committee.
But I do like Aaron's idea of just letting them kinda pick their terms.
Well, yeah, like I said, some of the boards that I've been on, generally, especially the elected officials, get to kind of choose with their reelection. That way, like, you know, if somebody's going out, that's a good, like, you don't want someone that maybe isn't, like, for example, I'm gonna be on the list to get reappointed for the South Country Human Service Zone. I do not plan to run for reelection. A county commissioner needs to sit on that spot, so I should deny that appointment, and I will. And one of you that's not up for reelection the next year should take that position. And then after the election, when you reorganize, you could change it again, I guess, but
Right.
essentially, like, I can't serve on that board if I'm not a county commissioner. And so that's where, when you get on these boards, it's nice to at least link that to your election date, so that way you're not overrunning your, you know, and trying to create this scenario. So
Yep.
I'd say the best thing to do would be to equate 3 of those spots have to be 4 years, or 4 have to be 4-year, and 5 have to be 2-year,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right,
And then who wants the 2s and the 4s, and let them hash it out.
yeah, yep, I agree.
Yeah,
So leave this flexible on the years,
yeah.
but just we wanna make a motion to accept the guys. So is there a motion to accept the people that we had?
I will make a motion to accept, would
All
you,
9 of them?
do you want me to actually name them out so that you?
I'd
so
say
that-
that'd be smart.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, for the city of Linton, we got Wayne Ely and Eric Schmidt. County commissioners, you got Craig Miller and myself. District 1 is David Mock. District 2 is Dean Dice. District 3 is Dan Weber. District 4 is Aaron Lyer, and District 5 would be Lauren Vanderhorst. I make a motion that we accept those, on this resolution, those names.
I would second.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Vanderwerf seconds. All in favor, or is there any discussion on anybody?
Well, just to be clear, these are the 9 names that we're appointing to the
Planning and
charter
zoning board.
members of the
Planning and
Planning and
Zoning
Zoning Commission.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Do the terms begin in January? Is that what you guys are doing?
Can we do that?
I think they have to have a meeting within 30 days of being created.
Yeah, I
right?
think
So-
that was.
30 days,
That's
yes.
one thing.
Huh?
We'll have to have a meeting this month then.
Yeah, yeah, cause we won't be able to squeeze it in probably by the, I don't think anybody's gonna wanna meet on the 1st or 2nd of January.
Well, I don't think 30 days means that like, I think if there's holidays, there's probably a little.
Little leniency, isn't
I
it?
mean, if the 30th day,
Maybe we should start this the 15th of December, or can we do it that way, Joe?
Start with the terms?
Can we make this
Yeah.
effective as of 15 December, or?
Well, I think it would just be effective as of now, and then they'd have to follow the century code as to when they have to.
That's why I'm trying to skirt the century code. To give a little bit more time.
Don't jump over
First
the fence.
meeting, no, I'm not trying to break the rules, I'm trying to find out what makes it easier for them to be able to meet, not around Christmas.
Because the
and
holidays
New
are gonna be
Year's.
tough.
The reason why I ask is because all these other board members that you guys appoint, their terms all start in January with the exception of public health starts in August.
So January one.
So that'd be a good time to start.
Yeah,
So
can
you
I
appoint
adopt
them
this
effective-
resolution to begin on the 1st of January?
Of twenty
Can we
twenty-six.
make a motion to approve this resolution?
Should we do
begin
that,
in 1 January is where the terms would be?
I think that's fine.
Okay, so let's,
Okay.
let me
So
change
you're making a
that,
motion?
let me change that motion a little bit to be effective 1 January 2026.
Is there a second to the motion?
Yeah,
Mr. Vanderwerf,
I would change my, yeah,
okay?
well, my second.
You want to go roll call or just all in favor?
As long as there's no more
Hold on,
discussion.
so
Discussion, you got discussion?
for clarification, you are going to make this effective January 1.
2026, yeah.
So then that 30 days starts from January 1 for them to
Yeah.
organize, which
Yeah.
makes sense because you're starting it at the new year, that's when their term technically starts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the,
All good.
that's the understood clarification?
Yeah,
Joe, you understand? Okay.
As long as we're legal.
Well,
And our
I think it makes sense to do it that way, and it's
Our
gonna be a
council is nodding and
disaster to
saying
try
yes,
and,
so.
it's gonna be a disaster to organize a board in December.
in December.
Well, yeah, let's get past New Year's, and, I mean, they start New Year's.
January one of
That gives them
2026 is his motion.
28 days to figure this out before they hit the 30-day mark in January.
You
so-
made a second, right? Vanderwerf. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried.
oh,
Nay?
That's only one.
Okay, he's opposed,
You,
okay.
you voted nay?
I did.
Oh. Why is that, Vance? Because you don't want to be on the board or what?
Great job, Aaron. Pushing all these
Well, Joe did a
information
lot of it,
together.
I
Joe,
gave him
good
some
job.
suggestions,
Looks
he
good.
drafted.
Great information.
30
I think
days,
this is
30
a,
days.
this is beyond a good starting point.
oh, you say that it should be,
Of today.
today we approved it and we should sit. Oh, okay.
But legally, Joe says we can do it.
Yeah,
You made it effective January 1st.
Yeah.
Huh? January one of 2026.
I just know I've got board meetings in I mean, I have a lot of meetings,
In January.
yes. In December,
Oh.
that's what I'm just saying.
Christmas holidays at least are tough.
Yeah, we got our 6th county, I mean, there's a lot of,
On the 11th,
there's a lot of
right?
stuff.
There's a deal in Bismarck on the 9th, and you guys are coming that?
I can't make
You
it.
gotta
I'm
go.
gonna go, are you going, or you guys? Aaron, are you going? On the 8th and 9th?
Oh, for the county commissioners
First
summit?
asked if you're coming up.
Is there any value? I've never, you've been here a few times.
The commissioners summit, I don't know if
I've
I've
never
ever had
been.
that before.
Have you ever been to it?
Oh, it's new?
I don't think this is pretty new, Evan County Commissioners Summit?
You and I went to that one up there in.
I
Was
never
it for
been.
actual county commissioners, or was it a part of the annual convention though, like that, this is
No,
totally
this is a
separate.
breakout, just, yeah,
Exactly,
just, yeah,
that's what I
just for
mean, but I
commissioners.
This is strictly for commission.
I thought that's
Yeah,
what it was, wasn't it?
Aaron
You
brought that
guys
up,
should have attended it.
Aaron brought that up at the 6th County in Carrington, he talked about
Birch
that he said, you know, we're combining the League of Cities and the NDACO thing, and then we're just doing one just for commissioners, just a really quick,
I think this
it's
is-
mostly one day, it's a
Was that the
social.
same thing that was at the old Doublewood?
Right up there off the interstate.
Okay, well then that was last year,
2 years ago.
or 2 years ago? Okay, yeah, no.
That was 2 years
Yeah,
ago,
I know,
yeah.
I did attend that, one. That was, yeah,
Mhm.
that was a similar deal, that was
Right.
county commissioners, and, yeah.
The agenda looks really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, I would think.
So
Let's go through these building permits.
Well,
What do you wanna do here? You wanna-
I think what we need to do is we need to consider this a first reading
Or the readings deals.
for the
Okay.
proposed resolution and the application, because we're also gonna need to iron out a public hearing for the second reading for this too, so.
2510.
So with this resolution and application, it's all basically amendable still after this, so we just, part of the process is basically approving.
This isn't installed, this is just. a
No, this
first
is just
reading.
approval of the first reading, so that Marlis has something that's been approved to submit to the newspaper, to her public record, if people want it.
I'll make a motion to adopt the first reading of the resolution 25-12-01 and the application for Emmons County conditional use permit.
Okay, is there a second by Magrum?
Second.
Any more discussion on it? No? Vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, good, this is
Who
done.
seconded that?
Aaron did.
Aaron,
did, yeah.
all
And then-
plus.
What's the date for the next regular meeting, Marlos? January
Well, if you go.
sixth?
So
Just count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it'd be the 6th of January.
Yeah,
The sixth,
That's,
okay.
person can look in the calendar, I guess, right?
So
6th of
they're
January, yeah.
hearing that,
You got it?
I would,
You got it on there, January sixth?
I'd say too.
This
Yeah,
Tuesday,
I would recommend doing it, the second reading and the public hearing for the proposed resolution and application to be January sixth at 5:30. I mean, I don't think we have to have it so late in the winter, I mean, it's.
No,
you know,
Let's
like-
have it at 5:30.
I mean, because otherwise you start having it at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and it's getting late in the winter to go home, and
You don't know
so.
what it'll be, it might be
Yeah.
storming.
My suggestion would be to have it.
So
at-
Joe, when I publish this public hearing, it's for the application for the CUP and for that resolution appointing the board, right? That's it, right?
No, the resolution is for the, or do we don't have to have a public hearing for the resolution, do we?
I didn't think so.
Because that's what you put in your motion.
The amendment to the
Yeah, I did
conditional
put
use
the, I
permit,
did
I
put the
guess.
resolution in.
Well, and that might be my fault, I don't know if the resolution, I don't know if we have to have a,
Should I just take that resolution
Do you
out?
have to hear for this?
Well, when we do zoning, resolutions, a lot of times you will do a public hearing for the
You do.
zoning resolution, yeah.
So
But for this committee,
They
we
kind of go hand in hand, but as for the committee, I don't remember seeing that as a requirement.
Okay.
You know,
I remember you sending that out, the guideline, but I don't remember.
Yeah, we could include the committee in that, I mean, I have no problem.
I don't really think we need a public, we don't have a public hearing for any other appointments,
Of boards.
you know, so no, I mean,
Yeah, that's true, we don't.
I mean, I think if people have
We
a
just-
problem with it, I mean, going forward, there's a process for that too, there's appointment dates, you know, I mean, yeah, if people wanna be on that board or something going forward, there's gonna be appointment opportunities every 2 years essentially, so.
Yeah, and it says right in here that, North Dakota Century Code, 113304 provides that the Board of County Commissioners shall appoint a county planning and zoning commission consisting of 9 members, so
Yeah.
I think that gives us the authority that we don't need a public hearing to.
So the public hearing is gonna be the application for the CUP?
It'll be the application, right, to adopt
the
the amendment.
resolution to,
Well, yeah, I mean, we can include the resolution
To adopt.
25-1201,
yeah.
which was basically the changes that we wanna make to the application.
Yeah, and actually, last time you guys changed it, we did have a public hearing on, to make the changes to the CUP.
Yeah, so
I thought
When we had
that
it.
makes sense to do it, just,
So the resolution you included in our packets, which was the changes to things on the conditional use permit, is the resolution we're referring to.
yeah, that's what Commissioner Gardner cited to in his motion,
Yeah.
25-1201.
Yep, yep.
Not the resolution for the planning and zoning board.
Okay.
Clear as mud.
Clear as mud.
Yeah. And I guess I would make a motion, Mr. Chairman, if you're willing to entertain it, for setting the public hearing for this second reading on January 6th at 5:30 PM,
On-
which would be the regular commission meeting day, just, it would
But
be
then-
in the evening,
that
so
is-
people can attend if they want.
Did you get that one?
5:30,
I
okay.
put it at 5:30, I just don't feel it needs to
That's
go
a
so
good
late.
time,
In the
isn't it?
summer, it's fine, in the winter, the early.
Tracking and get to the airport by midnight.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I don't wanna be rushed.
No, I don't blame you, that's the worst thing in the world.
All you need is a Speedo and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And going to Maui.
But I think it's on I think it's the 14th.
You'll be all right
I'll be okay.
then. Do we need
What else do we need,
We
guys?
didn't get a second on that motion.
Yeah, I'll second
Is there a
it,
second by Vanderhorst?
yeah.
Aaron made the motion, second by Mr. Vanderhorst. All in favor of the motion by Mr. Magrum?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Good.
Miscellaneous, we need anything else of this, are we done with it?
The only other question I would have is, since Intermountain Group was here, Like, do we have a official permit application?
I thought you were gonna submit a
I
plan.
have both the pub and the,
Yeah,
building permit in here.
the one they fill out in August.
You have a building permit, but you don't have a conditional use permit.
Yes, I have the
application.
conditional use in here too.
They,
Oh, you
yeah,
did.
they refilled
She
that out.
submitted, you gave that to him, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what we
You guys all
had.
have copies of it.
Okay, do we wanna set a public hearing for that?
Well,
think we should.
here's my question now.
Sure.
You guys did the first reading on that conditional use permit. We're gonna do the second reading in January. Are you gonna make these guys reapply them with a new permit application?
Don't you think?
But he seemed like he was real willing to work with us.
He's willing to work.
I mean, he knows he walked out here knowing exactly what we kind of expected, I felt like.
Well, since, I mean, he did kind of stress that he was willing to work with us in the process as long as it was moving forward, is kind of what it sounded like. I would say at January 6th, we're gonna have a finalized product. We give them basically between January 6th and, let's just say, February 3rd, which is the next county commission meeting, to comply to our new conditional use. Like, we'll accept the fact that they applied, let them submit the proper application, like, fee and all that, like, give them that 30-day window yet, and then we could still have it, like, my suggestion would be have a public hearing on regular commission day in February.
If they,
Because we kinda indicated a
if they
45-day
give it to
window.
me enough time to publish for that public hearing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, if we would accept that stuff already on January
Then
6th,
we'll have
and
the,
like the next day you told them like, you know, what, I mean, cause in my opinion, if we would schedule their public hearing today, that gives them almost 60 days. And they know, like, we're moving forward, that's your date, and we're also gonna try and approve in January this additions, and then between January and February, can you bring your application into a compliance, which I don't think is gonna be a problem. It's probably a change in the permit application fee is about it.
you know,
I feel like that's a reasonable process.
Yeah, the only question I have is then, we would, the new process, the planning and zoning commission would actually hold a public hearing, or would they not be
Yeah, that's
done
how
in
it
their
is.
process yet, so you guys just
I don't-
handle this first one and then they
And I
have
think
the rest.
they're
I don't think they're gonna be organized in
I don't
time to
think
be
so
able to
either.
do it, and I feel like this is kind of like still
They'll go
carried
along
over
with
from the old,
Yeah.
like, I don't, cause if we tell them they gotta wait for planning and zoning board, they're not gonna get public
Yeah.
hearings until May.
I think we're trying
Gotta get
to,
the feet on the ground.
Right.
they're willing to work with the fee, we're willing to work with getting our ducks in a row, and I think if we
Sure.
can make that happen without the planning and zoning board,
So
let's
this
do
one would
it.
be kind of the last one you guys.
Yeah.
think.
I would say after
Absolutely.
this, I would say we'd almost wanna be in the process of almost denying applications or pushing them to the
Until
planning
they
and
get
zoning.
Yep, I
there.
agree, I
I
agree.
think, I think that would probably be the forward, I think this is the carryover, they applied in August, they're part of the process.
Yeah.
To ask them to push it off another 6 months while we're sorting this out is probably
It's
The
gonna
unfair.
turn out
lower
pretty
top,
well.
yeah.
The extreme.
It seemed like
I think we can still handle this one, we technically are the acting planning and zoning board while we're here, so.
Agreed.
So
Agree, right?
my suggestion, rather than a motion, would be that the next county commission meeting, I believe, is February 3rd, that we would hold this public hearing
Is it on
February
the
3rd
John? Right.
at 5:30 PM. And that also gives them a date now, which I think they'll appreciate,
Yep.
and I think we've.
Are you gonna give them a notice?
Well, that'll have to go in the paper too, like.
So you're changing the date from January 6th?
Nope, nope,
Two different
this is
things.
just for Intermountain's CUP now. February.
That's a
In
hearing,
February.
a hearing for
The
their.
second
I don't
hearing,
know
right?
if you should schedule that though, because
Yeah,
here's
what
what
is
I'm
it?
thinking
Go ahead,
is
say it, speak it so we all hear it.
that, so that January 6th meeting, you're gonna have your second reading, and you're gonna adopt that resolution, right? After the public hearing.
Then you could,
And then I'll contact them and let them know that
Yeah.
there's a new application, and they have to have the application with that $750 to me before I schedule that public hearing. Well, what if they don't get it to me in time?
Well, I don't think we're forced to have a public hearing if all of a sudden something would fall through,
Right.
are we? Like, if we schedule one and something would fall through, it wouldn't happen, would it not?
Yeah, cause you still got time to publish it after our January meeting.
Right.
I'm just suggesting that we schedule one, because they have applied. I'm not gonna be that unwilling to work with them where I'm gonna say it doesn't count. I'm just basically acknowledging that they've been here, they've applied, they're willing to work with us.
They're willing to work.
Meeting them halfway is to go, okay, we're gonna schedule for a regular meeting in February. We're going to adopt our final rules that have been the reason we're holding this process off. We're doing that in January. You'll have 30 days from then to comply, but you're basically getting 60 days, cause we're telling you we wanna do it in February.
And if they don't comply, we have to cancel.
Essentially, what I would do is just tell them, keep your ear to the ground, cause as soon as we make these changes, then we're allowing you to come in. Or we could just be unruly and be like, no, we're not gonna do nothing till April or May. I feel like it's the olive branch to meet in the middle.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll have a problem
I
with it.
think we have to.
And the only
Well, I think it's fair. I
It's
think
just
it's
fair.
So,
We don't have to, it's just fair.
And the only people that are, need to be notified are them.
well, the public does too,
public
but
But I mean,
you
not,
technically don't have to advertise the public hearing until after
After.
January.
Yeah,
That's why
it's
you don't
fair.
want to, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right,
we
so
know
we-
then, yeah.
And if anything changes in the meantime, it might need to get rescheduled or you know, and all it is a public hearing, it's not a public approval. I
Right.
mean, anything can happen, so.
And they will go along with that.
Yeah, so I would say I'll make the motion that we schedule the public hearing for the conditional use application for Intermountain Group on February 3rd at 5:30 PM here at the courthouse.
You got a motion? Okay.
there we
Is
go.
there a second to the motion by Mr. Magrum? Mr. Vanderwerf? Any more discussion? No? All in favor?
Alright,
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, that's done.
Boy, these calendars are starting to fill.
Getting smaller and smaller.
Well, that too.
You wanna go, we have anything else we gotta go through here, guys? I don't think so, we'll do the miscellaneous and move on,
yeah,
okay? Item 1 on miscellaneous, building permit for Matthew Wingenbach to place a 56.4 by 27.6 manufactured home on the west half of the northwest quarter, the southeast quarter of Section 8, Township 130, Range 79.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Can you read that again?
Here it is, you wanna listen? Larry? Out of it. Where's this at, out of Beaver Bay?
yeah, yeah.
So how's it look, Josh?
Yeah, it's good, they're replacing a camper that has a deck with an actual manufactured home. Setbacks on all sides are good. I see no issues with this.
All good.
Yep.
Motion to approve, Bill
Motion to approve.
for Matthew Wingenbach, and I'm not gonna read the rest of that.
You wanna go with the legal?
Nope,
Please.
I think you did a bang up job.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Second by Magrum, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 2, plat of irregular description. Lot C being a portion of lots 1 and 2, and old RR main line
Really?
within the Linton Industrial Development Corporation retracement survey subdivision in the northeast quarter of Section 30, Township 135 North, Range 76 West of the 5th Principal Meridian, City of Hazelton, Emmons County, North Dakota.
Where's that at again?
It's in Emmons County. Pay attention.
It's crazy, man.
Holy crap,
It's
with our tongue
subdivision.
The
twisted.
city of Hazelton?
It's in Hazelton.
This is in Hazelton?
Yeah, it was the old railroad, and LIDC acquired it first, and then they sold it to this part,
This
to
guy.
Hazelton City, so Hazelton City is platting them smaller and selling them off.
Oh,
Okay.
it's plotted out.
This,
I think the adjoining landowners all wanna make their yards a little bigger, I
Yep.
think is the idea, which is not.
Which is all good.
That's a good deal.
Well, and you don't need it, cause that used to be where the county parked its blade on the city property, well, we don't need that spot anymore, so all the neighbors want it, so.
Yeah, there you go.
I make
You
a
guys wanna
motion to approve,
this? Here, what's that?
I'll make a
Make a
motion to
motion to
approve,
approve.
because Josh has. an
Second by
objection.
Miller, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 3, building permit for Michael A. and Deb Schumacher to replace windows in the home located on tracks A, E, and tract 100 foot by 150 foot in the southwest quarter of Section 8, Township 132, Range 76.
I'll,
That's up there by the school there.
yep, I'll make a motion to approve the building permit.
Motion by Gartner,
Second.
second by Magrum. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Let's do all the, let's do the appointment officials to last. Let's knock these other things out real quick.
Yep.
Okay. Liquor license for South Central Threshers Association. Is there a motion to that?
I make
Oh, yeah.
a motion to approve.
All these
Is
next
that-
4 ones are their annual.
That's our annual thrashing fee, right?
Well, that's their annual liquor licenses for them, for 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
You have
That's
to
their
check.
annual
Oh,
liquor
okay.
licenses.
All
Are you
right,
doing them all there?
yeah, let's,
I would make a motion to approve, South Central Threshers, Cattail Resort, Lytton Country Club, and the Dock Bar and Grill.
And I'll second that.
You have to check,
second by Gardner, all in favor?
you have to check with Gary,
Huh?
you have to check with Gary Sanders first or not?
Probably should, Gary should be here on that, shouldn't
No,
he? They usually sits in on
Right, but I would say these are long-time establishments, if there's any problems, it probably would've came up,
I sent him the agendas.
Yeah.
them. Oh, so he knows it's here. Okay.
So he's aware of it.
yeah, they're just a renewal. They still have to go through the state, I'm sure. Yeah, so the state does the background and does all that change.
All right, and just a little context, the only reason that came up is because one time, so I believe I was chairman then, there was one establishment that kinda had some issues, and Sanders came in to kind of let us know that,
What's going on?
you know, it might be, you know, and so then it became the idea, like, we should have him look at all of them, and so that, I mean, technically, I think with some of these, if there was a problem, he probably would've came.
Okay. Okay, item 9, raffle permit for Lytton Country Club. Is there a motion for that?
Motion.
Vanderboers,
Second.
Magrum, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 10, 6 County Commission meeting, December 11th, 2025, 10 a.m. Emmons County Courthouse.
Are you guys all gonna make it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
I'll be here.
I'll be here,
If you want any agenda items, let me know.
Add to it, right? yeah.
Alright.
Okay, then go back to item 4, review appointments of officials and board members with expiring terms effective January 1, 2026.
So you don't appoint these until next month, but I usually give you a list, 'cause
Oh,
you usually
well, we can
contact in
add
your
to it.
area.
so if you got somebody in your area, you can.
Contact.
Yeah.
Well, the county committee, that's for the school.
County, yeah, it's for schools.
Do you by chance have some of these people's numbers? Like, Jim Weber? I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get ahold of him, but go to Zoom.
Jim, Emmons County Courthouse in Greenway.
Well, he's pretty consistent.
I mean, the record,
That's not what we're on here.
Yeah, I don't have phone numbers.
Yeah, well, that's, you're gonna have to, somebody's gonna have to look for something. So basically, you're saying bring it back in, hopefully if you can.
Is there anything else, guys, you wanna cover?
Well, I guess the only thing that it's kind of germane to the topic, well, one would be that, up for reappointment is myself for that South Country Human Service Zone Board, and a commissioner has to sit on that board, so one of you three that wasn't elected with me and Dan should probably sit that board.
Vanderbush.
I mean, I think if after a re-election or something, if you wanted to re-circus it around, maybe you probably could, but for now, like,
Jimbo?
How often do they meet?
bi-monthly, every other month.
Every other month, and there's been some times there wasn't anything really to
It's
discuss.
good for the mind, but.
Well, and what they have been doing is rotating, cause there's 6 counties involved. So they've been rotating the meeting at each county. I will tell you, I did not make every meeting, cause going to Ellendale for a 2-hour meeting didn't seem like it, so I would call in. Or if there was a quorum, I didn't make it all the time too, so it's not, it's a well-ran board, there's what, 11 members, 13?
I think there's 12 with Michelle.
Right, so there's, cause there's 2 from each county plus Michelle, so there's 13 board
Then we
members,
have
so
a
getting a
vacancy.
quorum's not extremely
They're all pretty
difficult.
good about, like community action board too, you call in or.
I called in plenty of times if
Yeah.
it was just a
I
long
will-
ways
I
away,
will
and you're in the middle of
respond.
harvest or something or whatever, like if that's, if it's
Yeah.
not a, it's,
Michelle would set up a Zoom.
I should go to that Lewis and Clark.
it's a good board.
Yeah, I can do that, I guess. Debbie's kinda got an interest. She was on the Human Services Board
Yeah.
until it changed.
Michelle runs a good board, she's the chair since she's the district one, but, and then the other thing was what got brought up earlier by Roger Martin, do we
I
want
put that
to,
down there so we.
do we wanna
know
appoint
that
someone
they
from
can
this
hear.
board to be a part of the transition
Take
committee
that
for
out.
the airport?
I'll take that. Sorry.
Well, I Reluctantly, yes, I would serve on that transition board because
Attaboy.
I've had plenty of flack on whether or not we should support it or not. I should probably at least
Do it, you'd be good on
stick
there.
my head into it a little bit.
I wanna touch on that, Aaron, just a little bit. I had a conversation with an agronomist, at Agtegra. And, there was, when we had that public hearing, there was discussion about the pilots charging more to the farmer. And here's what I found out from the agronomist at Agtegra. The pilots have nothing to do with the landowners for the most part. The landowner contacts their, fertilizer company or their spray company of choice. They have pilots that they have on retainer. They give them a map, the pilot goes out and sprays it. The bill comes from the Agtegra Maverick
to the
CHS, to the individual. So there is some, visiting with this agronomist, there is some wiggle room to say, okay, the county would like to charge, the airport wants to charge 15 extra cents per acre that's sprayed. The boards of these places would probably have to approve it, it would be billed through them. There is some, talking to this agronomist, there is some possibilities to bring up some revenue for these airports, or our airport. He said you might lose a pilot that doesn't wanna fly there. He said it won't take them long when they're putting an extra 2 hours in to run back to Napoleon or Ashley to refuel, cause they can only spray about 400 gallons and then they have to go back, or 400 acres. And then they have to go back, he said, so they'll come back eventually, probably within a month. But, so I'm just a heads up that I had that conversation with this guy, that there is some of those ideas like David Mock and Steph Doolittle brought up, charging the farmer more, there is those options, you just have to work through the fertilizer companies or the spray, they work with the pilot, and I'm just giving you a heads up on that, I had that.
No, I think that's definitely what, is gonna have to be explored as additional sources of revenue to try and at least,
Absolutely.
I don't, is the county gonna be in the airport business forever? I would like to not see it that way, so I think if it's a bridge till you can reform a board and rethink what the airport is supposed to be, then
Yep,
hopefully
yep.
you'll come with some solutions, so.
Yeah, I just wanna share that with you.
Yeah, and the only
Being
other
the
thing
newest
I was
member
gonna
on
add,
the
that
transitioning board.
part of my notes, I would like it added, yeah.
Took a little while to rattle around.
No, I was trying to think about a professional way to answer you since we're on camera, but I'm, gonna transition this table to your side of the room, but, I think, part of the old and unfinished business or an agenda item for next month is that I think we need to revisit our road agreement. Cause with this battery project coming through, that's gonna be another
That's gonna be a
discussion.
major.
And I think we should get ahead of it versus reviewing it after they come in wanting to
Yep.
do it.
Yep,
Another reason why I bring it up is trying to learn lessons from the past. When
Next year.
I came in as a commissioner, the first summer I was commissioner was the summer they built the wind towers.
yep.
And basically what happened is once the permits got approved and the project happened, it just happened.
No sound, no talk.
Well, even that, I mean, they came in and updated us, I'm not trying to say that, but my opinion is the county commission, as a part of its haul road agreement, should have a fee for that haul road agreement, and that the fee should be to defray the costs of hiring someone temporarily to basically supervise the project on the county's behalf.
You got it, we talked about that.
Because the concern that comes up in the public hearings, especially with the PSC one and with here, was the amount of traffic.
Yep.
What's the dust gonna be like? Speed. The time of year they're doing their work, which is mainly gonna be spring, summer, and fall. What's the busiest time of year on our roads? Spring, summer, and fall. Expecting the sheriff and the road department to absorb any responsibilities to maintain a project out there is unfair. I think we should consider, cause I don't think we can spare a blade operator or a deputy. And I don't think any of the county commissioners are gonna have the kind of time to do that, is my point. Like, there are people in this county that I think would be adequate if we figured out like I don't know how to figure the cost. You figure just the estimated time of the project and then figure some kind of hourly rate, weekly rate, daily rate, and that would become like the permit fee. Because the other thing that happens is, we are part of the load pass permit system. There's really no check and balance if they're getting those permits. Francis did a pretty good in-depth when he was the road superintendent, and found that there must have been, the calculations of how many loads it took to build a wind tower versus how many permits we had was not the same. I don't think it was widespread, but we also did hear from contractors during that project that they were getting undercut by other truckers, and they felt the reason why was because they weren't getting the permits, and we felt that was NextEra's responsibility, but it's really not. That's our permit we're requiring.
Right.
Now, NextEra would be wise to participate in that and make sure that the contractors they're hiring are doing that. But if their project superintendent doesn't understand that completely, and the truckers do or don't know and are either diving out of it or just don't understand, we do miss out on funding like that, and those are the kinds of things that we're requiring for damage to our roads and things of that nature. So that person, I believe, would be like the overall county superintendent of the project, without trying to pull from another employee or going, hey Josh, you get to do that too all summer now, like, it's not fair. It's not reasonable, so.
There's 3 ways into that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, they didn't even know where 34 was at, and coming down from Broomfield was in that low area. That low area is gonna get pounded.
Well, in defense of them, NextEra doesn't build it, Blattner Energy, is probably gonna build Michaels, and they're the ones that are supposed to know that stuff, so, but, again, I feel like something to consider, and what we should really discuss is making sure that our haul road agreement is the way we want it, and then making some considerations to, I think we should have had someone out there on that project at least Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Just, if people had problems, that's who you went to, you know, if there was dust control issues, that's our person out there, cause.
Will there be somebody there Saturday, Sunday, all there?
Well, I mean, that's up for discussion. What my point is I just feel like when we did the wind tower project, it was like, well, road superintendent and sheriff should be handling that. Well, it's just a lot, they're gonna do what? They're gonna drive by in the morning on their way through to a project, maybe drive by in the evening, and all the meanwhile, cause like, one example is like when they pulled water for dust control. They pulled it out of the Tenvic Dam, which I don't have a problem with, but they set up a water horse right on the county road. And so there was a soft spot all summer there because they were pulling up, you know, they're running it through an 8-10 inch pipe, and then we should have required them to build like a 50-foot approach or pad off the road that they pulled off of, because then the other problem was they were parked on the road while they were filling water. Like, those are things that we missed, that someone should, like, the commissioners can bring that idea, but who's gonna put it out there? And I feel like these companies and these big projects, that should be a part of like the haul road agreement, and you're defraying the cost for us to, and maybe it's not 100%, maybe it's only 50%, I don't know, but these are just some ideas that I was spitballing that I feel would have made the wind tower project much more successful for the county. Cause you can't expect those guys to patrol themselves. I think they'll do a fine job, they'll do everything in their best interest to keep the roads decent and dust controlled, but are they gonna do it the way we want it done? I would argue that.
The county knows who to get a hold of at that company, like.
Right, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna be just absolutely slaughtering Russ with questions and calls, who's probably gonna have a million other things going on and has this guy's doing other things, now we're supposed to come up and babysit this project. I have a list of people that I just conjured up, that I think one of them would probably be interested to just come in and be like, hey, we're gonna give you $300 a day, that's gonna be and you're gonna be the county or county project superintendent supervisor until the completion of the project.
That's a good idea, that's a great idea.
I think everything from load tickets to the way they're conducting, way they're are they parking on our roads? Well, who's gonna go and babysit that? I don't wanna get phone calls every 2 days from angry neighbors, cause it's got like, and I shouldn't really have to do that, like that's where, and I feel like that's something like NextEra should be participating and paying for too, like. And going forward, not just NextEra, but anytime there's a project, like, hey, this is a part of our process now, we're gonna hire someone, you're essentially gonna pay for it, and that's how it's gonna get done, to make sure that our haul road agreement is getting enforced, our rules are getting enforced.
Good, another thing here, what are we gonna do, guys, on gravel? Because our gravel reserves are not, we don't have that big of a gravel reserve. Are we gonna furnish all the gravel for what they need, if they need any?
No.
Or are they just gonna have to haul it from Bismarck?
Those are the things in the haul road agreement, I believe, are actually already in there, but they need to get solidified. And I think we need to do it now, they haven't even gotten the PSC.
Beforehand.
They haven't gotten the PSC approval yet, I think it's fair to do it now, instead of them coming in April, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, we're gonna revamp our agreement now. Let's do it now. I think for the next 30 days over the holidays, try and get a copy of it, take a look at it, see if you liked anything. If my idea of having a superintendent or what pay should be, whatever, just start thinking of ways to make that.
Maybe we get something out of down in Sheridan County, 'cause they got a lot, just in McKenzie and Williams County.
Right, I feel like that's an
They're
avenue.
the ones
that
to feed on.
We should definitely have some oversight in it, and I don't think just appointing another employee makes it right.
Marlis will send the whole road agreement out to,
Okay,
via email,
Oh, that's good.
rather than 4 or 5 of us flooding our office to get copies of it.
yeah,
Change nothing else?
Change
Good
the
idea,
subject,
Bills?
change the subject,
Go ahead.
just a minute, yeah.
Go ahead.
I had a call in harvest time, wondering what our load limits were on our gravel roads. I said, well, I don't know. And then I don't remember who I called, I talked to Russ. Russ said, we have none. So,
well, I believe it's 80,000 pounds, right, it's the same as.
same as this,
Yeah, I mean, we don't enforce anything different.
no, I know.
But you take it South Dakota, that's a different ballgame.
Yeah, it is.
They put load restrictions on these roads and they patrol them. They patrol them.
Kidder County's got the weights, I seen them.
Huh?
I did some work for Kidder County for the sheriff's department, I seen the weights, they got the scales.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they got a trailer, and the sheriff said everybody hates it.
Yeah, well,
I mean, like
see.
everybody that they hate it, like, they don't like the idea that it's patrolled, but he says they do it, and he said they're tough on
Their
it.
problem was, they said at 6 County, they only had one person that can handle throwing them scales around.
They're big,
Yeah,
they're
they're
like
heavy.
this tall, and they're, yeah,
That's
and
fine.
they have a trailer, they don't put them in the back of their pickup, they have like a little trailer.
yeah.
And they drag it around when they, you know, when they do checkpoints or whatever, but,
One fine, I guarantee you it'll end.
well, I just know that there are other counties doing it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we could, I
something to
just said,
consider, I
maybe,
guess.
If we end up this winter like we had this summer with snow,
we'll end up with
this
all-
spring, this could be a nightmare with the hauling.
Yeah.
There you go, Jim, bring it up at 6 County.
Yeah, that I think is on the agenda, is it
It's
not?
brought up about
You know-
once a year, doesn't it?
McIntosh County brought it up because
Yeah.
Yeah,
load passes harvest permits now. And I printed out some information, I'll bring it
oh,
next week.
well, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I know we talked about one time, I think it was it was the first one I was at in McIntyre.
Would you entertain a motion to adjourn?
No, we did not. We were just talking about the bills, but I can go through the bills after the fact.
Well, we go through the bills after the fact, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Usually you keep.
Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting? Do what?
Usually you keep the meeting going and you doing bills.
Yeah, right, you should.
Well, okay, I guess you can pass them on, I looked through them, I didn't see anything that I felt.
Everything good?
Well, I didn't see anything that I felt needed to be pulled out.
Look through the list.
I'm just 1 of 5.
Yeah.
Almost get the feeling like you're trying to transition from in here to out there,
Well,
Here's page 2.
Oh, where?
anywhere outside of here. Well, you have transition jokes so that I can have one too, hell.
what the heck?
Huh?
Pass it down. That's part 2.
Well, I think that's a good move for you.
Well, I've dodged enough meetings the last lately here too, I just need to pull my own.
I don't think, I wasn't
That
thinking
was
of that, I just,
273 in
you
the
probably had
ground
more phone calls on the airport taking it
I
anyway.
do have an interest in it, and I think a lot of good can come of it, and I think if that's my opinion and I'm that opinionated on it, then my morals always dictate I should get involved.
And just to let you guys know, whoever serves on that, human services, Michelle usually takes us to the meetings. You know,
Yeah, no, you usually don't drive yourself unless you have other plans, is usually, cause Marlis is on the board too, cause she's the auditor. and
So
then-
Michelle usually drives us.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
but you don't get to collect mileage, so that's kinda, you know,
No.
you're one of them guys that likes to make an extra $2 after your costs.
See,
you go.
should've got on the community action board to get mileage and free A and B meals.
Well, you can get mileage, you wanna drive separate, like I said, you
No,
make an extra
no.
$4 after your costs.
You have to drive to that meeting, but.
Oh,
I think like that, they made them drive separate. They could not carpool together and each grab a reimbursement.
well, right, like with us, like I said,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Michelle's the one that technically approves and cuts the checks other than the board, and so she knows when we're riding with us, if you're gonna try and skeeve a little, mileage.
$3
she's
Well,
gonna
there's
bust
no
it.
reason to take more than one vehicle.
Where the hell are you supposed to sign this when there's no place to sign?
I think I usually sign those, to be honest. I think I sign them. Is that gravel?
No, permit for,
Yeah, I think I
it's
usually
a local permit.
Let me look at it.
Written country club, that's a graphic.
That gravel bill, that gravel bill was nice, huh?
I thought I usually sent
Did
it.
you see it? There's nothing there to show it.
A bunch of rocks.
Hey, James,
Yes, sir.
what are your thoughts about inviting the planning and zoning board to the next meeting?
Well, you
I
can,
would
no,
have
no, I signed
questions.
this.
They want expectations, then maybe
That's-
just.
Here,
That's kind of what I brought up,
Yeah,
I think that's a great
And then
idea.
set the actual meeting from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty's got a great idea here. We should probably invite the zoning planning board to the next meeting so that they can get their feet wet.
Yeah, ask questions, get expectations from you guys and set our next meeting.
I said, you
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep,
I think that's a good idea.
yeah, at least they know what they're getting into.
Glad to have you on the board.
To the whole.
Yeah, mine's a 2-month, term.
Are you quitting?
Advisor.
Are you quitting?
Yeah.
Starting today.
Yeah,
I
well,
understand that's
I was
perfect.
gonna say 2 weeks.
I,
Goes along
well,
with
I
my
just,
notice.
Josh, you say to the whole commission meeting or what?
I know,
Yeah.
I asked
Just
Lauren,
put it in the
Lauren said
commission
he would
meeting
only serve if
We'll
Josh,
invite the board,
Josh
that way
was
they
good.
can ask questions and,
They might not all be able to make it, but it gives them the opportunity to come in and, I mean, they're appointed by that.
and I'm sure they have questions.
They're appointed. No, they're not, it's not effective till one.
Not till the 1 January. That's why he voted against it.
I know. He voted against it because I came up with the idea. That's how he is.
There you go.
No, that's a good idea, Scotty. I like the way you're thinking.
Why you call him Scotty?
Scotty doesn't.
You don't remember?
Who's Scotty?
No. Yeah, who was it that was doing that? Oh, yeah, yeah, Donovan Grant. Bring that up on the screen, Scotty.
He came a week ago to my office, I
Yeah,
apologize.
that was,
It's awesome. Donovan had a nice.
yeah,
Did he?
Yes.
Because I didn't give no space in my building to store that pontoon.
You know, what's really funny is when people call you the wrong name, that's how you end up getting nicknames, that's
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
So a good one was, you know, my name's spelled E-R-I-N, so I go to 7th grade football practice and Bob Prouse was my football coach. And old Bob Prouse was just.
Come on, was he
tough.
your football
He was
coach?
a tough old bugger, and he's calling names to go up, and you're supposed to pick your helmet, your shoulder pads, and it's Erwin Magrum. And I'm like, it's Aaron, and he's like, no, it's not. No, that's not how you
So you
spell
were
it. I said,
Erwin.
well, so I made the mistake of telling my dad, and he's been calling me Erwin since the 7th grade now, but he still calls me Erwin.
Oh, my
So-
God. Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, yeah, between that and Abby out calling me Eric, it's, yeah. So, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
There's a second
Second.
by Miller. All in favor?
uh.
Opposed?